Welcome to this post-game media edition of Talking Hoosier Baseball. Today is Saturday, April 12th, 2025. Last night, the Hoosiers' four-game winning streak was snapped as Friday night Illini righty Tyler Schmitt held the Hoosiers to just one run in 7 innings. Devin Taylor joined the Hoosier 200-hit career club, and Ryan Kraft was excellent in middle relief. The media spoke with head coach Jeff Mercer following the game. Coach, we did see several good swings today, but the just offense wasn't able to break through. What was your thought on the approaches today?
Yeah, I thought we were, first of all, their guy was good, and it was a tough day to hit. And you get the wind blowing in your face, and a guy's low 90s with good lift, and he's throwing the ball top of the zone. So you knew it's going to be a tough day. I thought we were very good. It's going to be a low-scoring game just because of the situation, and you're on a Friday and all those kind of things. But we still, you just see the, I don't want to say youthfulness because we're young, but youthfulness as an immaturity of some of those at-bats in the moments. We swing at too many pitches. We expand the zone. You allow the umpire. I think he was fine, but you don't get a 50-50 call, and then you expand the zone and. In between timing and beat by fastballs, and we're just far enough along in the year, and we've done a good enough job to be more competitive. I know Devin hits on double play ball there in the ninth, but he hits 4 balls on the screws, hit some balls really hard today, and had very little to show for it. And that's what you just ask of the guys. It's going to be a tough day to hit. I get it, but let's just have good at bats. Let's be tough. Let's hit balls hard. It just looked a little bit like, we can't hit the ball in the air and. So let's hit the ball low, but at the same time we expand the zone and just kind of in between. We just weren't very good. I don't know if flustered is the right word, but frustrated and in between timing and just not what we had hoped that we would be able to do today. Certainly after as well as we had played the last couple of days earlier this week.
I guess from the pitching side of things, in the grand scheme of things, the one swing obviously the 3-run homer, but outside of that, what do you rate your pitching?
Outside of Gooby's inning, and I love him, but it was bad. It was a bad performance. Outside of that, everything else we did today was exactly what we needed to do. You're off schedule. If Crafty hadn't had to go into close on Tuesday, he probably would have started the game. But we wanted to get him to a point where we knew we were going to have to cover the last 3 or 4 innings after him with guys. And so if the difference in throwing him first or throwing him second or third, you're going to have to cover those innings with the same guys. And so get in the game a little bit and then be able to feel like you're in the game to see if you want to use him in that situation or not. And we were still within striking distance. So you try to trust your offense to be able to get yourself back in the game. And he did everything he was supposed to do. But, Haas did everything he was supposed to do. The second inning got a little bit tentative and it was, we were too reliant on the chase. And coach went out and kind of busted his chops and filled it right back up. And it was really good. Gooby struggled, and it's frustrating because he doesn't really get hit. But you just can't walk the guys and then fall behind and then have to throw it right down the middle. And, that's a guy that's going to hit out of the Grand Canyon. Like, he's going to hit the ball anywhere. But then, Crafty was obviously really good. And Vogel, I thought Vogel was good. 3 singles, you have a ball that kicks off the heel. Cooper, a well-hit ball. I thought Koski showed throwing the guy at the plate. That was a slam dunk. He's already shifted down, covering the 4-hole. And so we shifted down and we don't make a good throw to the plate. I thought that was a layup, and he's a good enough player to be held to that standard. Where the reality is we're far enough along in the season to be able to play the ball and execute the game better than we did. For all those guys came in and threw strikes and filled it up and did a good job. Gooby's good enough to come in and do the same thing. And so Koski's going to fill a guy out. Cooper's going to have to make that play. They're all going to have to do those things. And you try to win that game, 3-2 or 2-1 or whatever it may be. But yeah, we pitched it overall. We pitched it well and did a good job in totality. So I'm pleased with that, especially, just kind of being a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday deal to come out and give up 4 runs on a Friday. Did a good job. And the 3 of those runs we gave to him. That guy hit the home run. Good job for him. He's a good player. He should have made home runs, all those good things. But in the 1 inning that they scored their big inning, we gave those to him as far as like setting the table up to give them the opportunity to be in that position. But yeah, overall, outside of that inning, we pitched it really well and did a good job. Coach Clant did a good job matching those guys up and getting them in the right spots and getting them in and getting them out and giving the offense a chance to win the game, which is all you can ask of your pitching coach and your pitching staff, given everything this week.
0 for 4 for Jake Hanley today.
Yeah.
After that fourth one, it looked like he went over and talked to you a little bit. You guys were talking pregame too.
Yeah.
What was in that conversation?
Yeah, I just told him. I said, you're gonna have to be able to bunt. You're gonna have to be able to drag bunt. And I've told him, multiple times, you're gonna have to be able to do it. We've worked on it. We worked on it a lot last night in practice. We worked on it the last 2 weeks. I said, listen, the wind's blowing out, and you're 3 for 3 with 2 doubles and a homer, and you're swinging it great. And we're up by 7. I have no problem. We're down by a run, 2 runs at that point. We need a runner on base, and the whole left side of the field is shifted over. You're gonna have to be able to do it. And you're old enough, you've been through this now, and we've practiced it enough, you're going to have to be able to play the game in its entirety. And again, I love Jake. He's an awesome player. He's probably going to be the freshman of the year in the league. So, but at the same point, he's a great player, and he's capable, and he also wants to be coached. And so I have no problems, saying what the conversation was, and he would, sit here, I would say the same thing to him if he was standing right here. So, he's just, that's what we pride ourselves on, is that you have to have high expectations for your players, and you have to hold them to that standard, and you're good enough to do it, and we expect you to be able to do it. And when the situation calls for it, watch the game and read the game and do it. I think the reason our players they do get better is because they are held accountable, but they're also I can yell at him and put the bunt sign on and do those things, but they've got to be able to read the game. You've got to be able to see it in front of you. We've talked about it multiple times. In that situation, it was the right time to do it. Again, especially left on left when you're not having a good day. He expanded the zone up, he expanded the zone down, and you can't do it on a Friday night against good arms in these situations. And he'll be fine. He'll come out tomorrow and have a bunch of hits, and he'll be great like he always is. But my dad would always call it being. Failure provides an opportunity to learn, right? And then am I available to learn when I'm given the opportunity? And I think that's what that conversation is you just keep coaching and teaching and guiding. And Jake, I guess I've known Jake since he was 13 years old. So the ability to have that candid conversation and him not gives feelings hurt is the reason why he's also gotten so much better, is he is willing to listen and learn and apply. And I'm sure he'll respond well after that situation.
The Hoosiers and Illini resume the series here in Illinois starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Time Saturday. See you at the Bart.